Good morning, Lincoln, Nebraska. Happy Monday. Welcome into the morning hookup. Bill Hoops, Elijah, YZ. Good morning. Hope your week's off to a great start as it is hot outside. Summer is finally smacking us in the face after a beautiful weekend. Then Sunday came and it was hot. But welcome in. A lot to get to today. World Cup knockout stage, match 1 done. We'll get to that. Dr. Dane Todd, about 9:30, he'll hang out with us for about an hour or so. Major League Baseball, go around the dime a little bit today. I'll let you get your talk out for Major League Baseball. We'll talk about it. Hey, in a season not going so great, it went pretty great the last 4 games for those Red Sox.
Last night was drama. I was texting him.
Oh, you were?
Oh, yeah.
Even in our worst years, we still own our little brother. So,
oh boy, I love that. There's a lot of that.
But Roldis Chapman just about screwed it up for you guys. Yeah. I loved him blowing the save and then staring down out number 3.
Don't even get me started. Thank God for that bottom of the 10th.
But hey, they get it done. They get a big sweep there. We'll talk about that. Evan Blam of the Omaha World Herald will join us in hour number 2. And a whole lot of you. Feel free to call 402-489-1240. 402-489-1240. Jump on the stream with us. Go to YouTube or Facebook. Check us out. How was your weekend, fellas?
It's good.
Yeah?
It's good.
A little baseball in your life?
Got up to baseball on Saturday when the weather was nice for baseball.
Oh, it's enjoyable.
Beautiful. I did have I was working out of town. Made it to this town about 45 minutes before first pitch, plenty of time.
Yep.
Stop, fill up gas, look in my back seat, realize, wait, I don't have my pants.
Whoa.
Which is a big part of, the umpire attire. If you're wearing shorts as an umpire, get off the baseball diamond. But
go join a softball league.
I had to call up the roommates and meet me halfway, bring in the pants.
That's not normal.
Made it about 15 minutes before first pitch. We got it rocking and rolling, but that was no fun. But then Sunday, yeah, hot as all get out.
Oh boy, it was swampy.
Yeah. Got out and kicked soccer ball around, drank a few beers. Got some sunlight.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Sweat it out. Now we're back to Monday.
Back to Monday. We're back at it.
My favorite week of the year. 4th of July.
It is. I knew it. I know. We're getting there.
I'm not blowing anything up yet. I know lots of Lincoln sounds like a war zone. That's not me just yet, but I do love this week.
Jeez, people. Come on. Can we just pump the brakes for a moment? YZ, how was the weekend?
I was out in the mountains of Colorado.
That's right.
It was pretty beautiful. Got out to a place that had some hot springs as well.
Ooh, nice.
Had never done that before. That was really relaxing, very nice. The elevation got me, man. I had been in Denver before, which is it's a mile above sea level. We went past Denver, past Boulder to a little town called Nederland, and they're like 8,000 feet above sea level, and it got to me.
Had to take a little break.
Yeah, I was out of breath, nauseous, but then once you got sort of accustomed to it, it's pretty nice. They had some nice food around there, some gift shops. Cool little town out in Nederland, Colorado.
Nice. I've never been out there. I've never been there.
Yeah, it's past Boulder, even further. Yeah, good time with the girlfriend and her family. So
nice.
Pretty much it.
We had baseball weekend. We were baseballing and golf and all that good stuff, and out the old Triple Crown State unique tournament. But it was beautiful weather. Didn't fare well, but we took some time out there, which was nice. So I hope everyone else had a great weekend. Good morning, Shane. World Cup. We're in the knockout stages.
And a great first game from a drama point of view yesterday among the knockout stage games with South Africa and Canada. It was a 0-0 affair for 90 plus minutes that if you weren't a soccer fan, you probably didn't love the game. Not a lot of excitement, but then you get the excitement in the 94th minute.
Yes.
As Canada scores the winner.
I heard that described as I was listening. No drama. I mean, a lot of no drama. A lot of, as some might reference, playing inside the 20s kind of soccer match.
Yeah.
Not what I guess anticipation as a fan from a knockout match early on.
It was tense. You could tell both teams wanted it, But if you're not a soccer fan, it probably was not the game that was going to keep you
You're like,
invested
come on,
for a
man.
long time.
We're so accustomed, like the games, the matches we've been watching are like 4-3, or the star's been the star of all stars in these matches so far.
It's the way the cookie crumbles. You just didn't get the greatest matchup for your standalone Sunday knockout stage game.
Hey,
But
Canada advances.
Canada advances, their first time advancing to the round of 16, their first knockout win in the World Cup history. They were juiced about that after the game.
Well, yeah, I mean, you do something you've never done before. You're like, yep, that's us. So
And
good stuff.
the
for them.
fans and out in Los Angeles were enjoying it. But we start getting some really good games beginning today. You seen the knockout stage?
Yes,
games today?
I got them right here. You're
Noon
going to kick it off
today?
at noon. Brazil and Japan.
Japan is one of my favorite teams to watch in this tournament, and Brazil's been a little underwhelming. They're still Brazil. Don't get me wrong. They're still very talented. I think Japan's got a fighter's chance in this one. They play fun soccer. Germany, Paraguay should be Germany rolling to the round of 16, but it's a good added piece for the United States win over Paraguay. You get kind of some added context here. How easy or difficult is it for Germany today? Kind of gives you an indication. All right, how is the U.S. actually doing against compared to a top level team like Germany? And the Netherlands and Morocco tonight is a great game. Might be the best game across the entire first round of knockout stage games. I'm not sure what the odds will tell you on that one, but Morocco and Netherlands are both great teams. Netherlands kind of on the back end of a great 10 years. Morocco kind of up and coming. They won the under 20 World Cup a couple years ago, and their team is really, really good.
You got that today. Boy, cool stories within the bracket as well when you look at it. How about Cabo Verde? First time in, getting to the knockout stage. Cool stuff. We talked about also Algeria. Hello. Welcome in to that as well. There's a lot of great matchups coming up as the U.S. will go tomorrow, 8 o'clock tomorrow. Wednesday. Sorry, not tomorrow, Wednesday at 8 o'clock. So we'll get to preview that a little bit from that perspective as they'll take on Bosnia in that bracket. And then, not looking ahead. They have Bosnia. Hopefully, it'll be a tough match as we look at it with the right to go on and play either Belgium or Senegal.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys stayed up late on Friday night. That was ever changing who the U.S. could potentially play after the Bosnia game should they win on Wednesday night. You had a tough matchup with Belgium. Belgium's who knocked you out back in 2014. They are also a little bit on the back end of kind of their golden generation, but if you were to win that against the winner of Belgium and Senegal, I'm kind of putting in Belgium. There was a chance there. It was going to be
Is Egypt in that mix? Yeah, right.
Egypt and Senegal, Egypt and South Korea. It was kind of changing around on Friday night. You got Belgium, unfortunate, but hey, that's the World Cup for you.
Yeah, Egypt gets flipped to the other side. They take on Australia coming up on a Friday at 2 o'clock.
Good matchup for them. And then if you were to advance past Belgium, you'd likely get either Spain or Portugal.
Hello. One match at a time.
One match at a time. Yeah, exactly.
Let's get to the next stage.
And Bosnia is not a great team. You can be Bosnia. I do think they are a slight step up from what you've faced in Australia and even in Turkey as well.
Yep, but it's knockout, and you always know how the knockouts can go with that. So, which led me to think about like knockouts and like this fan thing, the Europeans being in town. I know you've watched it and seen it, but how cool have the takeovers been at sporting events that we've seen?
The Netherlands fans in Kansas City.
My goodness. We had the Fenway takeover as well. And I don't know if you guys got a chance yesterday to watch a little golf. Obviously, that we'll talk about because golf, it finished this morning. We'll get into golf. But did you see the Norwegians on Saturday
cheering on Victor Hovland, wearing their Norway jerseys and doing the boat row?
Yes, Victor. And they were getting into the Victor. They were getting into their chant. I mean, what an amazing different types of takeovers we've seen at major sporting events across this country.
They were still there in their Norway shirts yesterday, and it was funny on the 18th green, which, by the way, great golf yesterday.
Oh, my goodness. But then
great golf.
Because you got that, and you had the, fun stuff going on. Scotty makes a big-time 8-foot putt to go into the playoff.
And then the fans chant USA, USA at the Norway
ramping
fans.
up. I got goosebumps just thinking about it. Just it made me think about how cool, what the effect of the World Cup of the Europeans all coming over, whatever country they're from, finding the American items to do, the American sport events to go to, and what they've done at those events it's been next to none.
There's a Marlins game that had Scottish fans show up as well, and I can't remember who was the pitcher for the Marlins that night, but I remember him just saying, "I wish the Scottish fans could be here every single night. That
Well,
was so
because
much more fun."
they'd actually have fans.
Yeah,
But just cool moments as you've looked across the World Cup and the venues that these fans be able to go to, or just Americans going down to whether it be Kansas City is it Netherlands? They did their walk with them. Are they the ones orange? Netherlands orange, and they do the walk.
yes, yeah, Netherlands,
I've
and
had some-
then the right and the left, the right, the left.
Yeah, they've been Americans down there getting involved with those, and it's just been really cool to bring everyone together, and either you get a part of their culture and their walks, or vice versa, they're a part of your stuff. But the golf was cool, from a Saturday to a Sunday, to the Norwegian chants for Victor, to the USA chants for Scotty.
It is unfortunate, as an aside here, though, that the playoff did get
Yes,
pushed back to Monday because the rain comes through and delays the round, and they're playing that 18th hole with like 15 minutes of sunlight left, and then you have to play a playoff on Monday. That's never fair to the competitors.
as you saw this morning, by the way. It's over, by the way. It is over, by the way. So we'll get to that later on and see how that ended up, how it finished as well. But good stuff. Have you looked at the bracket in the World Cup and gone, oh man, this is the best match first round, and which favorite has the path to success?
Well, as I said, Netherlands, Morocco tonight might be my favorite first round matchup. Couldn't tell you who's going to win. Portugal and Croatia is also fine. That comes Thursday.
Like I said, you open up today with a Brazil and Japan matchup.
It's a good day today. As you look at it, I mean, the corner of the bracket that features Portugal, Spain, the United States, and Belgium. The fact that one of those four teams could be coming out, as you look at it, it's kind of the bottom left of the bracket. It's a tough corner of the bracket right there. The Germany, France, Netherlands, Morocco top left is also tough. But like the whole left side of the bracket, if you're on the right side of the bracket, congrats, you've got an easy path. Like Argentina, their most difficult team in their corner of the bracket's probably Colombia.
Colombia at the bottom side, they would meet in 2 matches from now.
Yeah, but Argentina's got a great path to a World Cup final. And up in the top right as well, I mean, Norway, not a bad matchup either. So they get the Ivory Coast and then the winner of Brazil, Japan. Like Norway could potentially make a deep run because of that. But then you look at the top right, England's pretty much, to me, maybe not head and shoulders, but they're ahead above everybody else in that top right side of the bracket. So the left side's death, the right side, Argentina, England, Brazil. They got themselves some favorable matchups to make a deep run.
So a lot of cool stuff coming up. A lot of great matches ahead of us as we get geared up for a couple days from now, as we'll move that way. As the United States will have their first round knockout match coming up Wednesday around 8 o'clock. I think it's 8 o'clock coming up. So we'll be previewing that as we continue throughout the week. Let's take our first break. Let's come back and let's talk a little baseball. It's a lot of stories in Major League Baseball right now because we are at the midpoint. We're at midway now. Teams struggling, teams trying to hang on, teams excelling. There's all kinds of stuff going on in Major League Baseball. Let's talk about that and a lot more when we return.
You already talked about Sandy Alcantara.
Which part?
That he didn't get an elevation for his. I like how bad they messed that up. His strikeout record.
Oh, yeah. We had to bring that up. Got my kid Ty's hanging out with us today, everybody. Coordinator, what's up? Good morning. Said definitely not a great day to have golf. You know it's hot, man. Rain delay wasn't bad. It allowed you to see the finish of the LPGA. Yeah, it was a good finish.
That's fair, but it screwed up the playoff.
Oh, it did.
You know, it sucks to get guys out of a rhythm and tell you, hey, come back into the course tomorrow and play one hole.
I'm pretty sure Scotty wore the same clothes.
You washed them?
Maybe
Just slept in them.
Maybe wasn't expecting like this is what I got left.
You just never left the course.
I
You
don't
were
know
just
if
on
they
the
did.
driving range all night long.
He's a grinder.
So I got the oblique problem.
No, I'm messing with it's more a habit now. Like, am I okay? Because like my rib, I don't know. Me, hypochondriac. Let me go check. Go check. Yeah, good idea.
If we can't hear it, it doesn't affect us.
Sing it. Good morning. Welcome back in the morning hookup. Happy Monday. MLB, boy, we're halfway home. Halfway home in Major League Baseball. Kind of check the standing stats, scores, stories, all that good stuff surrounding Major League Baseball. Boy, look out in the East. Tampa Bay, 5 straight wins. The Yankees, they lost 4 straight.
They lost to the Boston Red Sox
4 times.
Still wasn't pretty.
No, hey, but it don't matter. You know what you look at? 4 wins.
Yeah. Team still can't hit the ball. They almost blew that last night after your starter goes out there and gives you seven innings of a no-hitter. You only provide him 2 runs of support. I think they scored like 10 runs in the whole series, the Red Sox did, and still somehow swept them. 6. Okay, never mind. It was more than that. But still, the offense, I'm still like, I'll take this as a win, but I'm still concerned about the team moving forward. So live in it while
I
can,
love it.
but
You got 4 wins. What say you, Yankees? Garrett Cole been really bad as of late, by the way. He came out games, guns a-blazing, has struggled. Probably one of those things, just selling back in, coming off the injury. I would say he'll be fine in that one. But Yankees still 1 game back. They're a game back in the division. There's everybody else past that. Boy, halfway home. White Sox Guardians. Proverbial tie at the top.
What was the final score of that White Sox game the other night?
I know
the
that. I
Royals?
know it.
they put up like 20 runs.
22-1.
Yeah, 2-1 against the Kansas City Royals.
22-1. They're tied at the top. The only 2 teams now above 500 in that division are those 2.
The White Sox scored 10 runs in the 3rd inning.
Yeah.
Which means they sent what? I'm not sure how many left
12
on
or
base.
13,
It was at
maybe.
least 13 to the plate. And I'd assume if you score 10 runs, there's probably some runners on base whenever you get that 3rd out. I don't know. I wasn't watching, but
They're
That's
doing
a
all
half
this.
inning.
I just saw the score and I'm like, whoa.
They're doing all this too without Murakami. He's been injured for like a month. They just have so many young guys that are really good hitters. They're electric on offense.
So you got that going on. You got the ugly division down here that it's just stacked up. Nobody wants to take advantage of. Texas now at 500. They're back. They're a half game up of winners of 4 straight. Seattle losers of 2 straight. Not one team in that division above it right now. 500 or worse. What a yucky division. But somebody's got to come out of it. The team right now that's slated is their projected win total. The highest one on there is Seattle, 83 games. That's like 83 and 80, what, 2? Wow. Ugliness there as well. Boy, interesting. National East has really flipped it up a little bit. Braves, I want to say now they've lost 13 of 17.
Mm-hmm. The Phillies are coming.
They're coming. They're only 3 games back. They're 7 out of their they've won 7 out of their last 10, playing really good baseball. And the Braves have just been reeling with the injuries and the pitch. Last night was abysmal. They had Chris Sale on the mound, 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, 1 earned. They make like 3 errors in the game, lose 3-2 to the Giants. Ugly, ugly, ugly in that division right now for Atlanta. Mets go out and do the Met stuff. They fired their manager.
Surprised it took this long.
Yep. Things have been unchanged since then. They lost again. They've won 2 out of 10 as they fall 15 games back of that. That's nasty. 35 and 49.
They're making the same mistake as the Red Sox, firing their manager as kind of the fall guy of everything when the organization has ran everything very poorly. They have spent so much money on.
It's been multiple years.
Yeah, they always spend money. They never know how to actually spend money, and it just never comes to fruition. Every year, the Mets are back. The Mets are going to be good this year, and they suck every year.
This year specifically, I don't disagree with firing the manager. The vibes are so bad out in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you watch
Like
the way
with you, you're the punching bag of the MLB,
Mm-hmm.
and guys hear the noise, especially in New York City. Whenever you feel like the punching bag, sometimes you just got to make a change at the top to try to get some sort of culture shift in that locker room so guys stop feeling so sorry for themselves. That is a roster and a team that if you watch them play, it looks like they just feel bad for themselves at all times.
all the time. Non-hustle plays. I mean, it's just they lose in every which way, and it's not playing the game right most of the time. Central, Milwaukee continues to roll 5.5 up.
The Cubs are coming though too.
They're
We talked about
coming.
the Phillies.
They've jumped their way in. They've won 8 out of 10. We mentioned the Cubs a few times. They're a good team. They'll get to where they need to be. 5.5 games back. They made up some ground as other teams have started to falter in that division.
I'm not counting out the Cardinals just yet, but they've started to falter.
They became who we thought they were going to be, probably.
A little more average.
Yep.
Yeah.
They were a good story for the first half so far, like the White Sox, who the White Sox seemed to be a real threat. The Cardinals hit that big high early in the season. It seems they've come back just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh, 500. Maybe a pretty big disappointment is the Reds right now, as they've started to have some success for the last few years, but now have fallen 4 games under. And they've only won 4 games in their division.
It's an incredibly competitive division.
It is, but they've won 4.
Mm-hmm.
They're 4-17 in the division. Maybe disappointing when you look at it from their perspective.
Do you guys see, as an aside, while we're talking the Central, before we get to the West, you guys see Mizorowski throw 105.5 in the first inning the other night?
It's kind of silly, isn't it?
Guy's an alien.
He's an alien.
He's an alien.
The West is the West.
The Dodgers are the Dodgers.
They're 10 games up. Their differential, have you seen their differential? Everybody else in division's negative. They're positive 152. Yikes.
It's just the best team in baseball.
Man, I was hoping it
The
wasn't.
roster is well constructed.
Mm-hmm.
They're well led from the top, from a manager point of view, and from a front office point of view. Passionate fan base. There's no downsides to that Dodgers team.
And the rest of that division is just weak. I think all 3 of them are in the top 5 of the bottom of the NL. They're just the Dodgers are going to run that division for what, 5-10 years?
Well,
down the
they've
line.
already run it for 5 years, and they've probably got 10 more years in them, unless the salary cap comes to fruition.
Still look at the wild card out in the American League. Astros 1 back, A's 2 back, Twins only 4.5 back. So there's still some drama to be had. There's a lot of baseball left game. We're only halfway through this thing right now. On the other side, there's a massive race, and it's only midseason, like I said, for the wild card. The Cardinals, by the way, the wild cards now are Phillies, Cubs, Cardinals. Cardinals hold a spot right now. Padres, Marlins, both half game out of the wild card right now. Nationals, Pirates, Diamondbacks. 2.5, 3. The Reds are 4.5 out. Still a lot to be played out on the wild card side. So a lot to go baseball wise out there. Stats, man, look at some stats. There's some guys having some really good seasons. Kyle Schwarber's got 30 bombs, by the way. He's 5 ahead of anybody else in the league right there. He's a bomb and a strikeout guy.
I think he's hitting like 210 on the year, but
yeah, probably. I got some stats. I threw some stuff out just to look at here in a minute. Otto Lopez, Miami. He's got 109 hits on the season halfway through it. A couple guys, like 3 or 4 guys on pace for 200 hits. Lopez, Luis Jerez for San Francisco, Yadi Diaz out there in Tampa Bay. A lot of guys. Yordan Alvarez quietly having an MVP type season that nobody's talking about when you look at what he's done so far. 25 home runs. He's hit second in home runs. He leads the league in on base percentage. He leads the league in slugging percentage. OPS, by the way, also leads the league. Quietly having a really good season for not a great club out in Houston. But also, it's the year of the pitcher right now because you look at some of these ERAs. The Miz, 1.45. He's been dominant. 146 strikeouts. That's 18 clear of anybody else in the league. It's pretty dominant. And his whip, 0.77. I don't know if I've ever seen a guy like him that absolutely can just dominate you with a fastball. And I know it's 104, 103, 104, but it's the thing like everybody can adjust to hit a fastball mostly, but man, probably when you get to those numbers, probably pretty tough. Like that's like a victory pipe if you foul one off. You're like, yes,
I made contact.
And then he has 95 of it moves. I don't know if it's a slider or
I don't know what it
or
is,
a
but it
cut or whatever
sweeps.
they call it, but it moves and it's 95 miles an hour. I don't know if we've ever seen something like that.
It sweeps and it's nasty. Took this thing off the other day, but talking about some guys that are some of the worst in baseball stuff. Manny Machado currently hitting 188, I believe, and that's up. Salvi Perez, his own base is like 0.244.
Oof.
Steven Kwam's OPS is 0.575. Zach Gillen's ERA. These are the worst of the worst that I looked up. 6.15. The Rockies.
We don't need to go there.
33 and 51. Minus 89
Hey.
run differential. 5.47 ERA.
I don't think you'll find a Rockies fan that's going to be mad about this season. There's some folks that are going to sit back and be like, man, wish they were a little bit better.
They've had some success.
They're fun. They are kind of a never say die type of team. Are they very good? No. Is there optimism about the kind of the culture surrounding this team, despite the fact that their roster is extremely limited? Yeah. You're not going to find a Rockies fan who's mad about this. They're already at 33 wins. I think it took them until August to get their 33rd win last year. So, with that in mind,
There's a lot going on.
we don't need to throw the Rockies in there.
No. I just do some of the worst
Okay.
stats.
Yeah,
But
you-
guessing the worst.
we all knew the Rockies would probably be in last place, but at least it's a competitive battle for last with the Red Sox, the Mets, the Rockies,
Well,
the Royals.
Hey, listen, the Mets will help you out. Don't worry.
If you guys had to pick one team that is currently not leading the division that you think will win their division, who are you picking?
Ooh. All right.
Is the easy one? I mean, is the easy one the Cubs? Or is it the Phillies because of the Braves?
Or is it the Mariners? Because the AL West is just not good. They're only a half game out,
They're
so
gonna
that's
win
kind of
theirs.
that's kind of a cheap answer because they are just a
Yeah.
half game out. But they've been making a run as of late.
That's a tough question. I think I would have to say the Cubs. To me, winning that division is between them and the Brewers. And I think the Cubs they're a team when they get hot, they get really scorching hot. So I think they could make a run.
And they did have a rough May that they've kind of responded to and recovered from, where they got hit by the injury bug in May and they kind of took a downturn. I think they were sitting behind the Pirates in the division. Here they come storming back through the month of mid to late June.
It's hard to say for me, but I think the Phillies are one of those teams, man, because if the Braves can't get healthy, they got a couple major ones sitting out there with Murphy still on the DL. You got Strider hasn't been anything since he's been back. He went back on it. If they can't right that ship, then, it's a great question.
Cubs is a good answer, though. Mariners might be the easy answer. I hate to say it, but the Yankees are only a game back.
Yeah, I mean that's. Yeah.
But it's again, if you're within 3 games, that's kind of not
Yeah.
the point of the question I'm making. That the Cubs at 5.5 back, they feel very alive,
Very
They'll
alive.
win that
So
division.
a lot more, man. We're halfway home. Halfway home with baseball with a lot coming up. So let's take another break. Guess who's in the parking lot? The doctor, Dane Todd. When we return.
There's a lot going on in the NBA.
Yeah, the Golden State news this morning.
Well, that and then Malik Beasley. You see that?
No,
Got indicted on federal gambling charges.
does not. He had issues when he was with Denver.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Was it Sua Cravens that he got in a fist fight with in an apartment complex lobby?
Really?
Yeah. They had woman drama where they were both dating the same woman. And I can't remember if it was Malik Beasley that showed up at Sua Craven's apartment or if it was Sua Cravens that showed up at Malik Beasley's apartment. I think it was Malik Beasley that showed up at Sua Craven's apartment and assaulted him in the lobby.
You can go right. I'll put Ty back here. We'll sit back here.
How you guys been?
Good buddy. Good buddy. Long weekend.
Yeah, I'm definitely wore out.
I'm tired.
This weekend. Definitely.
I
haven't shaved. I'm just.
And I'm dealing like this oblique stuff. Like it just sore.
What's up, dude?
What's up? You sit right there or sit right there.
Sorry.
Is that your phone? Is that your phone? It's like right here again. What the hell?
It's because you're old, OT.
Mm-hmm.
You ever get those little like rib pains? Huh? No.
Maybe when I'm 50.
Mine's right here today.
So I kicked a soccer ball around for about an hour and a half, 2 hours yesterday, and my foot's all bruised and swollen. I'm just all bruised up in my lower half because I got hit by that baseball a week ago.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so that's just brutal now. Look, it doesn't hurt, but it looks horrible.
Cartilage. Right here. I can feel it. You ever had one that's like you just poke on it, it hurts? I'm mad about it.
Oh, Caleb, does Dan have the link?
Yep.
Of course, I'm a hypochondriac, Dane. I'm a hypochondriac. I keep touching it like something's wrong. What is that?
Yeah, dude.
Right here on the edge. Do you ever get what's there? A muscle there? Or can you
I don't know. That's hard to get in the middle. I don't really do
like can you bruise it?
Yeah. Sure, you can straighten stuff there.
I've bruised my sternum bench pressing before.
Do I have a spot? Do I have a spot there?
Yeah.
No. Like a bad spot?
No, you're fine. You'll live.
Rub some dirt on it, says Dr. Dane Todd.
He was the Nebraska Gatorade Player of the Year and the top-rated fullback in the 2006 NCAA football video game. Now, he's a sports medicine specialist and team physician for the University of Nebraska. Live on the Morning Hookup right now, powered by Dr. Dane Todd. It is Nebraska's very own Dr. Dane Todd.
Welcome back to the Morning Hookup. It's our guy, Dr. Dane Todd, hanging out with us on a beautiful, swampy Monday morning.
What's up?
It's hot out there.
It's gross. It's absolutely disgusting out there because it's muggy and warm.
It
Yeah.
sucks now, but this will be good weather for the 4th of July. Yeah, you sit next to a body of water, whether it's a pool or a lake or whatever it may be.
Might be a little too hot.
Not for me.
yeah.
I like my 4th of July hot. It makes the beers go down easier.
Yeah, I got a Goldilocks situation here. Just not too cold, not too hot. Needs to be just right.
Yes, I'm with you.
When I think
I'm
Dane
with
Todd,
you.
I think Goldilocks.
Yeah, absolutely.
You ever think back, speaking of how hot it is right now, think back about what's the hottest game you ever played in?
Oh, hottest game I ever
Like
played
hot.
in? I don't know, man.
And I know you
mean,
didn't. You were a fullback. It didn't bother you. You didn't cramp up or anything.
I mean, the fall camps with the
Oh,
practices were the worst. The game's not a big deal. The fall camps, oh, yuck, just gross.
Was it any difference? I know probably know the answer, but if you guys would go somewhere, be on turf or where there'd be grass.
Oh yeah, it's hotter on the turf for sure. Yeah, well, yeah, the grass was.
You
way
stand
better.
on it now.
Yeah, stand on it now. Right now, there's black on the side too. The sun beating down on that thing.
Best idea they've ever had.
Yeah,
Put
best
black on the
idea
turf
ever.
on the sidelines in the heat.
Yeah, it keeps it nice and cool. Yeah.
Turf fields are just already brutally hot, though.
They're
You get those,
so hot.
Well, those like hot fall camp practices where you're on the turf, it feels like your feet are gonna melt.
Yeah, awful.
If you wring your socks out after, terrible.
Yeah, not great.
I still have an issue. Grand Island has since refurbished their stadium, but they had the worst visiting locker room of all time. And we played as my junior year of high school. We played out there. I think it was either week 1 or week 2, and it was like one of those early September days that's like still really hot. It's like 95 degrees that day. And their locker room for us was underneath the visiting bleachers, and it was non-air conditioned.
Yep. I remember
And
that one.
it's also just like a closet. They have since renovated it, and I think it was like 110 in there before the game, and the coach was like, leave your stuff in there. Do not spend any extra time in there. That is a waste of time, effort, energy, money. It's going to ruin us. We ended up getting smoked.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
The last
it was-
time I
it was
remember
terrible.
playing out there, they had that locker room too, and we actually had a lightning delay, so we were holed up in that locker room.
And I think it's a broom closet.
but at least it was kind of rainy, which kept the temperature down. But
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be brutal.
yeah, lightning delay in there. Yeah, it was awful.
And it's like I cannot emphasize how small this locker room is.
oh, it's
Roughly the size of this
room.
studio
This room.
plus
Yeah.
Caleb's little booth in there. It's
Really,
tiny.
that's it.
Oh, it's tiny, dude.
Yeah,
it
they-
was tiny.
And you're packing 80 dudes in there.
Yeah, it was not cool.
No.
Yuck.
But
it's
they've
not.
renovated, so thank you, Grand Island.
Yeah, good work.
Dane, how was it getting into the parking lot this morning?
So I've discovered new and creative ways to get to the studio. So there's a lot of side streets get taken, maybe going through some residentials
It's
that you're not
awful.
supposed to. It's amazing how anybody gets anywhere around here.
Mm,
This was awful.
tell me about it.
And you can't leave, right? That's the other fun part.
Oh, I
is
didn't even think about that.
once I got in here, I was like, as I'm
Yeah,
driving
yeah,
past
it's
the
like-
entrances, there's barricades everywhere. I'm like, well, I guess I'm going out the same way I
So,
came in.
where are you gonna go?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to plan my route out of here.
Can you believe the city of Lincoln said that this road construction would have no impact to local businesses?
Is that what they said?
If that's no impact,
Wow.
I'd hate to see what impacted local businesses
Yeah,
look like.
exactly. Right. Like I would absolutely avoid going to any of these places. Just
It's
Yeah,
awful.
as an aside, there are a lot of businesses down here in this Cornersker area that have been struggling in recent months. So I do encourage you out there, especially the folks in North Lincoln, maybe take a moment, patronize one of these local businesses sitting here on Cornersker that is struggling as of late.
No, without a question. But yeah, getting there's hard. Getting there's
It's
hard.
been awful.
Oh well. No, but I made it. I hung out
Good.
outside on the front steps for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just living my best
Dane
life.
was out there. He was there. It said
In the shade.
9:30.
Yeah, in the
I
shade.
didn't have our doorman wasn't over there. I don't think.
No. Well, I've got the old Forerunner today.
Oh.
Yeah. Turns out the air conditioner doesn't work on it anymore. Yeah. So
Well,
that's
that's
always
not,
good.
That doesn't sound like a Toyota thing.
Yeah.
It's like Toyotas
well,
are
that's
silly
like a
reliable.
that vehicle is now 21 years old, so maybe it's more of a just 20 plus year old vehicle.
No, okay, that speaks to Toyota's
like-
reliability.
Yeah,
actually. It's still
exactly
going.
right. It's worked great
Sounds-
up until literally this year.
It sounds like 40-year-old bodies.
I know, right?
That thing
Without a
will
question.
Keep pushing until it can't anymore.
Yeah, no, it's good. I'll keep going with it.
I mean, a lot of people take their Forerunners to 250, 300,000
They will.
miles.
Yeah, mine's at 200.
That's
it's
amazing.
still got 100 in it.
I know it's still got
It's still a
100
low
in it.
mileage car.
It sounds pretty gross when you run it,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
Well, we got the doctor.
Still
doctor.
Just turn the radio up a bit. You can't,
Yeah.
you can't hear anything.
Well, that only works half the time too.
There it goes.
Yeah, I always have a bunch of people who, whenever I'm driving it somewhere, the people I know are like, "Dude, will you ever sell that?" I'm like, "No, tough break." A lot of people want that vehicle.
That
from-
one.
Yeah, they want that.
That's the
vehicle
old box
'cause they're
style.
great.
It's a good
yeah,
style.
yeah, they're great. It's just they do start to show their age at some point.
They
so.
do. They do. Speaking of that,
Oh, yes. Speaking of ages.
not
yeah.
showing.
Yeah, not
just
showing,
ages.
just aging. So I've got a couple of shout outs today. So my son Harrison's birthday was yesterday. So
Happy birthday, big dog.
Happy birthday, buddy. He turned 12. And my wife's birthday is today. So happy birthday, Ange. I'm not going to say how old she's turning, obviously. And then, of course, it was our anniversary yesterday as well. So there's a lot packed into this weekend. So basically, my wife gets completely ignored, though, because obviously one of the kids has a birthday. So we were thinking of moving her birthday to sometime in like late September. Like, what do you think? Like, reasonable time frame?
That is so funny because Ty's hanging out with us today, and forever he tried to he's a December, late December.
Mhm.
He wanted to move his to June.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. Somewhere away from Christmas, right? Yeah. No. I got a nephew like that.
away from Christmas and the cold.
Yeah.
I'm
No.
like, I
that's
don't know if
fair.
that's available.
Well, maybe at our age we can do that if we want to. I
can
can
just
do that with
skip
my
'em.
wife, right?
We just skip them.
Yeah, 100%. Oh my goodness, I told my daughter that my
Oh,
youngest
you
about
can't tell
3 years ago. I said, "Oh well, I want you to stay 5 forever, so we're just gonna skip your birthday." Maybe it was when she was turning 5. Might have been 4. Yeah. Turns out,
Worst dad ever.
yeah, because she didn't quite yet understand the concept that there's no way to actually skip it, right? Like you're getting older no matter what, right? So that's always been the running joke in the household. But happy birthday to basically my entire family this weekend. All right.
I'd love to skip birthdays. Even if you get older, I just think birthday celebrations are like the silliest thing.
Yeah. We don't do much at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hey, congrats. Like on this day, this random day, 29 years ago, you popped out. Now we're gonna have a party every single year. We don't need to go through all this.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm good with skipping my own. It's all right.
I celebrate my birthday every single day by still being alive.
It is nice. It is nice.
It's a bonus.
Yeah.
That's a big bonus, especially when you got rib pain like Hooks.
I don't even know. It's
He's
just
dying.
like I think it's cartilage. I've been poking on
He
it.
looks
so
so
long now.
uncomfortable there.
I'm actually
He's just
good.
a wiggle worming around right there. Anybody on the stream can just see him.
I'm
wiggle
just
worming.
crazy. I'm a hypo.
Yeah, it's such his life.
Yeah, I'm good. I
Sorry.
can breathe.
Yeah.
So far, I'm good.
We'll check in tomorrow.
Yeah, don't do that. Let's do a couple this day in sports. These are fun ones. I'm gonna go back on you today. In 1897, the Chicago Colts established the Major League Baseball record for most runs scored in a game by one team as they mauled the Louisville Colonels 36-7.
Ooh,
About that. That's a mauling.
does that still stand?
I don't know. In 1997, it was like we talked about baseball because it's so crazy because of any sport out there, they're the ones that have the records that go so far back that it's like, wow,
Yeah.
you kept records that far back.
Yep. Nope. That is still the all-time record.
You got it? Look, research department.
Yep. Yeah. But the modern era record, which modern era is defined as since 1901, modern.
Sure.
Okay.
That
is
was
30
that was 4
runs.
years later.
Yeah, that was 4 years later. Yeah. So it's 30 runs in the modern era.
You got
Yeah,
one from back in the archives?
On this day in 1984, legendary pitcher Oral Hershiser begins his string of making every scheduled start for more than 6 years until 1990 for the Los Angeles Dodgers. 6 years, did not miss a start, Oral Hershiser. And that began on this day in 1984.
Really?
It's impressive.
In 1986, the Boston Red Sox traded for Tom Seaver.
I was not alive.
Thank you.
I wasn't
Hey,
following baseball.
great
We
insight.
know.
1961, Giants outfielder Willie Mays becomes the fourth player in MLB history to hit 3 or more home runs twice in one game in a single season with a 10th inning blast
Wow.
over the Phillies. Twice in one season, he had 3 or more home runs in one game.
Leave some ones in here. In 1987, the Yankees blow an 11-4 lead with an 18-inning grand slam by Dave Winfield. They end up beating Toronto 15-14 down. There are also grand slams by both Hall of Famers, Don Maley and Dave Winfield, in a 15-14 slugfest.
On this day in 1936, Harmon Killebrew was born.
Harmon Killebrew.
13-time All-Star.
It just keeps going.
Oh,
There's always things on this day in sports history.
Always.
this is a
things.
good one in 1997. Ty, thank you. Ty was looking stuff up. 1997, Mike Tyson was disqualified from the heavyweight championship bout against Evander Holyfield. Why?
Oh,
Is that when he bit the ear?
Yep,
yep.
bit his ears.
Nice.
On this day in 1991, Kawhi Leonard was born.
Nice.
Huh?
This one says
Turning
speaking of-
35.
Since we're in the World Cup world, 1970, Pele led Brazil to a 4-1 victory of Italy in the World Cup final in Mexico City.
That was the final.
Securing the country's third World Cup title.
I wonder how much everything's been pushed back, right? Because the final won't be for,
Yeah, when is the final?
I mean,
July 17th, I think.
yeah, so still several weeks away, a few weeks away, right?
Mhm.
Like all the seasons seem to have gotten longer and longer and longer and pushed further and further back, right? Like when does baseball end? You know?
October.
Yeah, I mean late, right? And they start in April. You know, so heck, hockey runs all the way to. There have been years they were playing, I think, almost in July,
Yeah.
which is ridiculous because they start in October.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really long season.
I'm wondering if we're headed towards a future where the college football playoff schedule
Oh,
expands itself a little bit.
yeah, I'm sure we are. Well, now they got that 5-5 rule
Mhm.
happening.
You got to come
So-
back to that. We're going to talk about that in hour number 2.
No, I love that. That's perfect. Yeah, they've got that going, but
What are we going to do for the future doctors in college football that want to take their 9th year of eligibility? What are we going to do for them, huh? No one thought about them with this
Nobody
5 for 5
cares
rule.
about
it takes
them.
a lot of people 7 years to graduate.
They're called doctors.
They're called doctors.
They're called doctors.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, you always had 5 anyway. Now it's just no longer any shenanigans around redshirting, which is
that's cool.
great, right? Honestly, just
Mhm.
eliminate the confusion of the whole process. Although can they still get medical red shirts? I didn't remember
don't
seeing
really-
that.
nope.
No medical red shirts.
So just it's straight up 5 and done.
Yep.
No appeals, no nothing.
Which my guess is there's going to be a lawsuit somewhere down the road for somebody who tore both ACLs.
Yeah.
or
No,
tore,
absolutely.
tore something up and they missed 4 of their 5 years due to injury, and they're going to go sue the NCAA and say, how are you going to limit me?
Can we just say it is what it is?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I know. Wouldn't
Life.
it be great? That would be awesome if we could do that more.
Speaking of awesome, I just watched the video. We talked about World Cup and the way fan bases are taking over events. They just Victor Hovland ends up winning today. We'll get to that in a little bit. But
Spoilers.
I know, but they're doing the row. He's in the crowd doing the row.
Oh,
Nice.
it's awesome.
It's a sweet video.
Those Norway fans are having the time of their life here.
I mean, that's cool. As much as we wanted maybe the other guy to win, but we'll talk about how we lost too. It's
Yeah, it's brutal.
it's a brutal loss, or not
Lip out on the
not
playoff
loss,
hole.
but it's just brutal how it ended. Because we'll talk about that coming up. We have Evan Bland coming up in the Omaha World Herald. Talk about Husker baseball. One of our transfers signed with another school. A good landing spot for him, I believe. We'll have a lot more with the doctor coming up too. Talking 5 for 5.
5 for 5.
5 for 5. We got a call coming in.
Yeah,
Right then.
I
We'll
wish-
get to it there. Yeah, sorry if you're calling. We're
If you're
about to go
calling,
out.
call back an hour or two. And
Yeah, we're about to
Roughly
jump.
10 minutes from now.
we're up against it.
That's crazy. It's about Scotty. There was a fact on Scotty Show. People tell me how bad he's been playing. He finished his run of another signature event. He's now won $15 million this year. Still number 1 in the FedEx Cup. It's crazy. And he hasn't won in 13 tournaments now. It's the longest streak of his career.
Really?
Not that long.
That's not very long at all.
Sit back, relax. More with the doctor when we return.
But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
When a child is struggling with their mental health, the adults around them can make all the difference. Parents, teachers, coaches, anyone who shows up in a child's life. Because in those tough moments, kids are looking to the grown-ups around them for support.
If you're at school having a bad day, you just don't want to do anything.
I just get these thoughts like, do better. All my little emotions in my head is just running crazy. I don't know what to do.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed?
He's just in tears in the huddle. I was like, what's wrong? And he's just like, I'm just so frustrated and I didn't know what to do.
None of my undergraduate studies talked about mental health.
Teachers need tons of help.
That's why the Kids Mental Health Foundation provides free expert-developed tools and resources to help adults support the kids they care about.
Having those resources is the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
Because when adults feel supported, kids do too. Kids Mental Health starts with us. Find free resources at kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter.
Lincoln's local news, talk, sports, and weather station. FM 101.5, 1240 AM, KFOR, and KFRX HD3, Lincoln.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The Supreme Court dramatically expanding presidential power, upholding President Trump's firing of independent federal agency heads. However, when it comes to Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook, she will keep her job while further court battles play out. Here's ABC national correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
Chief Justice John Roberts writes for a divided court that the president cannot remove a member of the Federal Reserve Board, quote, for any time, for any reason, without any notice before, and without any judicial check after. Doing so, Roberts writes, would turn for-cause protection into little more than at-will employment. It was a 5-4 decision, with conservative Brett Kavanaugh and the court's 3 liberal justices joining Roberts' majority opinion.
The High Court also ruling that late arriving mail-in ballots can be counted in an election.
This ruling is a loss not only for President Trump, but also his Republican allies who have long argued that these late mail-in ballots, even if they are postmarked on Election Day, but this essential grace period should not be allowed. And of course, this all comes as the president is pushing for even tighter restrictions when it comes to mail-in voting and mail-in ballots.
ABC senior political correspondent Rachel Scott. The Supreme Court also today rejected a push by President Trump to throw out a jury's finding that he sexually abused writer E. Jean Carroll in a store dressing room back in the 90s. The ruling came in an unexplained order and means the president will have to pay Carroll $5 million as a part of the verdict she won. Hundreds of aftershocks rocking Venezuela, where more than 40,000 people are still unaccounted for after last week's tremors.
The U.S., one of at least 24 countries to send rescue teams, among them 86 specialist dog teams, even using small drones here to find survivors. But anger is growing at the government for being slow to act.
ABC's James Longman in Caracas, in Tennessee and Kentucky. At least 5 people have lost their lives in severe flooding. You're listening to ABC News.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Estelle.
Mother Nature turning up the temperature for the next few days. Good morning. I'm Jeff Modes. We have sunshine, 85 degrees, a heat index at 89 at KFOR. Heat advisories continuing for the Lincoln area through 9 o'clock Tuesday night. Air temperatures could be in the mid-upper 90s later today. Heat index as high as 105. Carrie Kernan is the director of the Lincoln Lancaster County Health Department, has some helpful tips for you to stay cool and beat the heat.
So we want to make sure that individuals are drinking plenty of water, wear loose, light-colored clothes, and put on sunscreen if you're going to be outside. Remember to never leave kids or pets in a parked car. Check on your family, friends, neighbors, and pets, and find air-conditioned places to cool off.
Hot temperatures and high humidity increase the risk of heat-related illnesses. A fire early Sunday afternoon at a home off of 34th and F in central Lincoln left behind about $280,000 worth of damage. LFR was called to the home where the garage was fully involved in flames and spread to the home. It took firefighters 40 minutes to get control of it. LFR says nobody was injured in terms of firefighters in dealing with the hot temperatures. 2 people have been displaced. A fire investigator is still looking at ruling maybe this fire is electrical, but it's still undetermined. Last week, the Senate passed a bipartisan bill known as the SAVE Act, which, among other things, would make buying and renting a home more affordable. Nebraska 1st District Republican Congressman Mike Flood co-authored the bill with longtime Missouri Democratic Congressman Emmanuel Cleaver.
This will be the biggest bipartisan housing legislation in 36 years. And I'm proud to say that I'm the primary author of the legislation and have found a way forward with my Senate colleagues to land the plane, hopefully, yet this week.
Flood says the bill would also cut red tape at housing and increases in housing supplies. Heat advisory again until 9 o'clock Tuesday night. Sunny, breezy, hot today, a high of 99. Tonight, partly cloudy, a slight chance of thunderstorms, low of 77. Sunny and hot again tomorrow and a high of 96. I'm Jeff Motes, KFOR News.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Watch out! You got me! The galaxy is safe once again.
In the pretend universe, kids play with pretend guns. In the real world, it's up to us to make sure they don't get their hands on a real gun. If you have a gun in the house, keep it locked, loaded, and separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family.
This is the Morning Hookup on KFOR.
Welcome back to the Morning Hookup, hour number 2. Happy Monday. Thanks for hanging out with us.
This is the anthem of the Red Sox season.
Precisely. I wasn't going there. Man. Coming up here shortly, Evan Bland on my World Herald.
Shout out James Valentine, by the way.
Yeah.
How close were you to him at Southeast? Was he a couple years older than you?
I don't know. I never knew him.
Well, yeah, he was on the band side of things, not the jock side of things.
Yeah,
so.
that's fair.
Dane was an athlete.
He definitely
stayed away.
had a better career than I have thus far, though.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Don't kill me. Who's James
He's
Valentine?
the guitarist for Maroon 5.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
He went out of Lincoln? Oh,
yeah.
wow. Very cool.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, he
But
grew
also-
up right in my neighborhood, where I live now.
And this is no offense to James Valentine, but I think most people across the country, when they think Maroon 5, probably don't think the guitarist. They probably think,
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, Adam Levine.
Right.
So,
Still,
Shout him out. Look
good
at you.
for him.
shout out James Valentine.
Crushed it.
Hey, local shout
He
out.
came back and played with this Southeast basketball band before I quit the Southeast band.
Nice.
So I got to play with James Valentine.
I love that.
He was playing the guitar, which is cool. I was playing the trombone, which is not cool.
That's fair. That's fair.
There's, on the sliding scale of cool instruments, there's a wide gap between guitar, drums, and everything else.
Yeah. Oh, without a question.
You play the drums, you're cool. You play the guitar, you're cool. The bass is like halfway between the guitar and the drums, and like all your other normal band instruments, and everything else is way down at the bottom.
Where does saxophone land?
It's above trombone, but not by much.
But not by much.
It depends what type of music you're playing with the saxophone.
What about electric violin?
I think that's on the sliding scale really uncool. Because I feel like trying to take an uncool instrument and make it cool makes it even more lame.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
So removed from
totally
what is
reasonable.
going on.
It's unclear to me what's happening right now, but just keeping it going.
I feel like one of the difficult instruments to place in there is the harp.
I mean, that's got to be the least cool of all the instruments.
Really? It seems like a harp's very difficult to play.
I'm sure.
The thing is, if you show up
to bagpipes,
but you're showing up to a party with a harp, like you're not gonna. It's not cool, you know.
I mean,
but it's cool that you know how to play it. Because, I don't know. It's hard for me to place.
I'm confused.
I have no idea what's happening.
Instruments
right
are cool, and I'm glad people do it.
Yeah, me too.
This is. I appreciate the musicians out there.
Yeah, I'm glad
but there is a sliding scale of what's cool and what's not.
I'm glad people that do it.
Yeah,
because I'm not built like that.
Yeah, no,
I'm
can't
built to listen.
Yeah, I got ears and everything.
That's it.
Can hear. It's awesome.
And a sense of rhythm.
More with the dot.
Dane Todd claps on rhythm at Husker football games.
On rhythm.
Ooh, I don't think anybody does. I think everybody there thinks they're clapping on rhythm, and nobody is.
No.
The problem being that sound travels, a speed that is.
Yeah.
There's a delay across the stadium from what you're hearing versus what's on the field. There's a lot of practice. My brother and sister were both in the Nebraska marching band, and they have to practice for the fact that people are going to be clapping off rhythm because the fact that the sound bounces and whatnot.
Interesting.
And hits different parts of the stadium at different times.
Interesting. Would not have thought about that.
And then you also have people that just have no rhythm.
See, again, band things.
Mm-hmm.
Band things. Speaking of things that are banded together, the 5-for-5 rule is now in play. Dane, I know you've had a chance to take a peek at that, and obviously things and times are changing, and 100% for sure. Thoughts, man. Now you get 5 to play 5. The entry into that, by the way, is it starts at graduation or your 19th birthday.
Right.
All else is gone. Obviously, there's a few things that we throw in there. We talked about it is pregnancy, a religious mission of some sorts. Is there one more?
Military service.
Military service.
Active duty.
Active
military.
duty.
And the enrollment starts the clock starts when you first enroll full-time in college or 19th birthday. So I guess if somebody was 17 when they graduated high school and didn't feel like they were ready yet, they could go to one of those prep schools,
and they're fine,
right? And they wouldn't burn a year. But if they were already turning 19 the next year, like, well, tough break, bro. you're getting run. I think it's interesting. I'm certain it makes roster management way simpler, right?
Mhm.
Because literally anybody can play then. However, I suppose that also brings in the nuance though too of like, well, this kid's not gonna play this year though, right? And then I'm sure there were times when coaches could say, oh, we just don't want to burn your red shirt, so you'll have another year down the road, when in reality they didn't want to tell the kid that they weren't ready to play yet.
Yeah, that
right?
red shirt's gone.
Yeah, and so they could kind of hide behind that a little bit and keeping them off the field for a year. And so maybe that'll cause some consternation or problems for, getting guys out there. But
and in the here and now, there's going to be guys that you wasted red shirts on that it's no longer going to matter, but that's honestly a pretty minor issue.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't able to play anyway. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, guys were redshirting not because they were the best player on the team. Right.
Well, like I think of like the Husker basketball team. Do you think Braden Frager's true freshman year would have gone differently if they didn't have to worry about the fact that put him in the game and you're going to burn the red shirt? Maybe. But I don't think it affects the future. I think it might just affect some coaches looking back and be like, I wonder if I would have done that a little bit differently had I known. And college football's been different too, where you can play in 4 games and still redshirt. So,
Right. No, that's interesting. It does eliminate for me one of the greatest things that nobody does anymore, but was awesome. And that was those guys who are redshirting, not even shooting up for games, literally giving them a football ticket to go sit in the stands like we used to have to do. That was the best. The best. Only have the people down there on the sideline who are actually going to be playing, right, or contributing in some way, shape, or form. The young guys have to go sit in the stands and watch, right? Earn your way onto the field. Like they should bring that back. It was the best.
It's interesting times as you look at the 5-for-5, and I go back and I talked about like maybe the roster management, because now. I think that becomes a very navigated strategic plan to navigate these rosters, because now when you look at people have getting more years now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because they added. Yeah.
Volleyball, for instance, you can now just add volleyball. And again, football we'll talk about as well. But volleyball now you can navigate having next year Andy Jackson, Bergen Riley, Harper Murray, Laney Choboy all come back after this year again. Because they were given the additional year for 5.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. And the other thing is now too, that screws everything up when they were starting to try to limit roster sizes, right?
Especially we talk football because now you have an interesting, I don't know, problem. It's not the right word, but what if if Calandria comes in, he's got 2 years now. You're presumably your starting quarterback. If it goes well and he decides to return, if he wants to return, then you're going to cross over with Trey Taylor.
Good problem.
That's
not a bad problem.
No. And I say problem, it's good.
It's a problem. It's
a conversation piece 100%.
It's a personnel problem, but it's not a problem for your football team as a whole.
No.
Always better to have multiple quarterback options than be stuck with one.
Which that's been a Nebraska issue, I think, over time, is the not having quarterbacks, but quarterbacks able to step in and play.
I will say, if I look to the future of college sports, I think the 5-for-5 is step one towards trying to rein in some of the issues in the college game right now that is taking years off of head coaches' lives because of all the year-round stress. The second one would be one free transfer, and then bring back, you have to sit out for a year if you decide to transfer after that one free transfer.
Yeah, that would be very helpful. As long as they do it.
If you only have 5 years of eligibility and you lose a year if you transfer.
As long as they do it for coaches too, I'll sign up for that every time. Dusty May used up your one free transfer, buddy.
But does it count? Because he left to go to the NBA.
He left, right? He left. That's a good point. If he would love to, but then he can't come back to college.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah, now you're done.
He's
now you can't come back to college anymore. Now you're
you gotta go. Yeah, you're a pro. Get out. You've already eligibility done.
Yeah, that'd be perfect, right?
Can't come back.
Give them the same rules.
Oh, coaches would hate that.
They wouldn't be able to do it.
Would it make them think? Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Or what if they have they get their one free transfer back every 5 years, like the college athletes? If you leave multiple jobs in a 5-year stretch, you have to sit out it for a year.
Ooh.
But it resets every 5 years, like the college athletes.
Oh, I like that. I like that nuance. I'm good with that. That sounds reasonable.
The exception being if you get fired. If you get fired, you're good. It's like getting cut from
Doesn't
roster.
count.
Yeah. No, that's all right.
Yeah. Look at us saving college sports.
Guys actively trying to get fired.
Honestly, I feel like there are some coaches out there that have been in that same boat with those huge contract buyout numbers. Is there a better job in America than being a recently fired college football Power 4 head coach that now has millions of dollars in the bank because they got bought out?
Jimbo Fisher?
Oh,
he's hanging out,
He's
bro.
never going to have to coach again.
Yeah.
Charlie Weiss made a career of it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely he did. I mean, Ed Orgeron, he's back into coaching, right?
Show me where the door is.
Yeah, show me where the door is. Want me to give a speech?
Yeah. Let me talk about it on the way out.
Yeah. What do you want me to do? Just
show me where the door is.
Give me the money and I'll do whatever. It's fine.
That's the American dream.
Absolutely the American dream, right? Go win a natty, be fired 2 years later, walk out with a bag.
Do whatever you want for the rest of your life because you have enough money.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Drink Red Bulls forever.
Oh man, be the tannest human being on earth too, at Orge. But yeah, I think it's interesting. 5 for 5. I think it's time, right? I agree with you completely, Elijah. It's working towards solving all these problems that have been created over the years. So
yeah, Corey, you still get the same amount of roster spots. I believe. Yes, you get the same amount of roster spots, but it's the management side of it now because I think about Nebraska football, and again, there's the math to all this. They got a pretty sizable class of 27 coming in, but then also a plethora of kids now that have extra eligibility.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got to work your way down eventually.
Hard decisions being made at some level going,
In 5 years, presuming they actually keep the rules the same for 5 whole years, which is sometimes pretty tough for the NCAA to do. It finally all comes out in the wash, right?
Yeah.
Like everything's finally back to what it would be, but your recruiting classes and those sorts of things, especially for sports like volleyball, where all of a sudden they're going to have a bunch of extra players, like they probably just got a lot smaller.
The true test of this rule will be in 3 or 4 years when the lawsuits start rolling in.
Oh, they're coming.
There's going to be lawsuits that start rolling in, and we'll see, can the NCAA actually fight this in court? And maybe the lawsuits will come sooner than that, but 3 to 4 years seems to me whenever you're going to have guys who are missing out because of injuries or whatnot that are going to say, man, I want one more year, and I'm going to sue the NCAA for it.
Yep.
The recent trend has been the NCAA loses in court.
Yeah.
Will they be able to defend this in court in 3 to 4 years? We'll see.
Will they be able to stand up for sure? So a lot more to come 5-5 and a lot more with the doctor. Hey, boy, by the way, drdangtodd.com /424844012. Take another break. We'll come back with Evan Blam, the Omaha World Herald. You are good, man. Glad it worked out. We could do
yeah, no, appreciate it.
We didn't get to talk about the fact that you're the guy to go to for firework injuries.
Oh, God.
You blow off your hand, go see Dr. Dane Todd.
We put our hand surgeons on call 4th of July weekend every year.
Because you know it's coming, right?
Yeah, because that's like...
People are stupid.
Yeah. I'm on call Tuesday. I'm sure I'll hear from something. My favorite is when they'll life flight someone from Iowa to the burn
We need to
center.
cut this off.
Oh, no.
Okay, you're good.
No,
All
it's
right, you're
fine.
good.
They'll life flight somebody to like the burn center. But at St. E's, because of a firework injury to the hand, it's like, oh boy, you need a real hand surgeon for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so if I'm stuck on call, it's like, oh man, guys,
Do the best you can.
Somebody
right?
help. No, you call somebody to help for sure. But I watch you put their tie. Yeah. Oh, well, everybody, have a fun and safe 4th of July.
Yeah, be safe, man. Be safe. Enjoy it.
I'm going to go try to drink enough coffee to wake myself up at and maybe swing by that boat shop.
Swing by the boat shop. Be like, is my boat moved?
So.
You just look at your phone like, yep,
Yeah.
this is fun.
Yep.
Thanks.
Just
All right.
life's happening.
Yep. All right, man. See you, brother.
Enjoy, Dan. Thanks for coming in.
They had a JUCO bat out of Cloud County.
was in effect this year.
Well, we'd get some guys back.
Well, I'm
I think
thinking
I bruised myself. I keep
well-
doing this.
well,
I just think I'm bruising myself even more.
Yeah, you are.
I think
Because this is nothing. It's a muscle. I can feel the muscle. I'm pushing the muscle right here.
You slept on it wrong?
Yeah, I think. Oh, I'm gonna. I do get a lot of that stuff nowadays. I sleep wrong, and I can lift up and down, and I can feel it now, knowing it's a muscle.
Just take some ibuprofen and push through.
Hypochondriac. More than most. So I feel like the Scarlet Crow. I feel like the multi-injury is justifiable for an extension. It's gonna be interesting as we get through some of that. Welcome back in the morning hookup. Again, happy Monday. Special thanks here to Dr. Dane Todd hanging out with us. Let's go to our guy from the Mount Ward Herald, Evan Bland. Evan, happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Yeah, Dean Todd, fellow Lincoln Southeast grad. He's doing well in life.
Yeah.
Just don't ask him about his boat.
Yeah, he's not having a good day with the boat.
Well, that sounds like a first world problem, but now's the time to use those boats, man. It's 95 degrees or whatever outside today. Hopefully, you can get out on the lake a little bit.
Yeah, it is. It is. Boy, and speaking of that, as we're approaching a holiday, Elijah's favorite holiday. Are you a big 4th of July fan? And what do you guys do on the 4th? I'm not. I like to watch other people blow stuff up and not my own stuff.
Yeah, I like the big fireworks shows. I don't have anything against that. I'm not a huge fan of going out and buying my own stuff either. Kind of the line I always heard growing up was it's the closest thing to lighting your money on fire that you can have. And I have a little bit of a background. And I worked at a fireworks stand. My family had a fireworks stand out near Hickman when I was growing up. So I was out there a lot. So I kind of associate the holiday more with like sweaty work than punks and black cats and sparklers and those things. But man, people get up for it, and I know my neighborhood that I'm in kind of looks like a war zone this time of year. But no, it's a fun holiday, and I kind of miss the old fireworks shows at Holmes Lake back in the day. I wouldn't mind the city bringing those back, but I don't think they're going to listen to me on that one.
To be honest, though, Evan, and I come from the other side of this. If my money looked as cool on fire as fireworks did, I might light my money on fire.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a firework guy.
If your $20 bill looked a certain way when you lit it, yeah. Well, what's your go-to? Do you have like a favorite type?
Oh, I love artillery shells. I go and get myself a nice pack of the artillery shells, like the 24 pack every single year. And do I maybe save a couple for use throughout the year? No comment, but I love me some good artillery shells, and firecrackers are fun as well.
All right. Yeah, very good. Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are showing up during this World Cup, and some of them you save in the fall for maybe a big football win or something. So I think you're not the only one who's maybe keeping a few of those in reserve.
We're speaking to Evan Blam, the Omaha World Herald. Well, Evan, speaking of lighting on fire, Nebraska adds a big JUCO bat out of Cloud County, North Dakota native. Kellen Burke. Talk about Kellen Burke. Man, he's a stat stuffer. Talk about that boy, big-time bat and a big-time addition for Nebraska.
Yeah, they do that every year or so. There's maybe one JUCO guy that they take a flyer on late, and that's Burke this year. Really interesting numbers out of Cloud. I mean, like you said, real stat stuffer, 20-plus home runs, stole a dozen bases, really high average and on-base percentage. I think the one thing I always like to look at is the strikeout to walk ratio, and he actually had more free passes when you combine walks and hit by pitches than he had strikeouts. So kind of reminds me a little bit maybe of like the Rhett Stokes game, where it was high contact, strong command of the strike zone, and someone who can play a lot of different positions. I mean, he could be a catcher, he could be a corner outfielder. He said he's comfortable playing on the infield as well. So I think it's another high upside sort of late addition for Nebraska where you can fit in a lot of different areas. And like, it's not just the versatility for versatility's sake, but I think they're also covering themselves a little bit depending on how the draft plays out here next month, when you've got obviously established contributors who are maybe going to move on when you look at guys like Case Sanderson and some others. But I think also the guys coming out of the high school ranks or the junior college ranks with this incoming class, like you have to have a backup plan if some of your top guys do decide to go pro. So I think Nebraska has added a few guys like that. Burke's another example of it. And, again, I think it's probably worth reminding too that in this new 5-for-5 reality, this is someone who could be a Husker for 3 years instead of 2. So, and he actually might even be a freshman. So I'm trying to remember, it might be 3 or 4, but suddenly these junior college additions are even a little bit more valuable because those guys could end up being on your roster longer than they ever have been.
Evan Bland with us here from the Omaha World Herald, talking a little Husker baseball. And Evan, you did have a story last week that I quite enjoyed about Caden Brumbaugh. I guess was this Friday? I think you got this posted up. Caden Brumbaugh, former Husker, off playing at Oklahoma. And I'd asked the question heading into the College World Series, like what lessons can be learned from these teams and how they operate, how they make it to Omaha. Well, he's got firsthand experience. He's seen both Lincoln. He's seen a team in Oklahoma make the College World Series run and kind of discussed the difference between the two.
Yeah, I was thankful that Caden took some time to talk with me about that, just because his perspective is so unique. And I was thinking back, and I asked some other people, and we couldn't think of any former Husker player, baseball player, who won a College World Series, either as a player or a coach. So it was kind of an unprecedented moment where Brumbaugh just had 3 years in Lincoln. I mean, it was fresh in his mind, and he goes and wins a national title with Oklahoma. And so, his biggest takeaway was, man, you got to have that depth of pitching that can make a postseason run. And he talked about, Oklahoma lost a game in that regional in Atlanta with Georgia Tech, and they had enough guys with velocity and stuff to be able to come back, even when some of those guys were not major in-season contributors, but they just had a ton of upside. They were able to figure it out. Shackle, one of the better offenses in college baseball. And then you saw it throughout the rest of their run as well. You saw it in Omaha, where they're starting 3 true freshmen in their rotation down the stretch. And those were players who were not always starters all year, but sort of emerged. And so I thought that was interesting. And he compared it to Nebraska, where he said, yeah, they have the Ty Horns and Carson Yassas and maybe a couple back-end guys like Jay Sean Unger. But beyond that, it doesn't compare in terms of the depth. And so that's recruiting. I think some of that's certainly NIL and scholarship, which Nebraska is going to be closing the gap on at least a little bit in these next couple of years. So it's that. He talked about the SEC schedule. That's really not something Nebraska can alter too much, where, it's 10 weekends that feel like super regionals, Brumbaugh said, and you compare that to going to Rutgers or going to Purdue or going to Michigan State, and it's just not the same thing. And so Nebraska, as we've talked about many times, has to make up for a lot of that in February and early March with how it schedules. So those are a couple things. I thought his thoughts on facilities and culture were interesting. He said at this moment, Nebraska has better facilities than Oklahoma, which is fascinating. And then the culture piece, he said it's more of a professional baseball model at Oklahoma, where guys come in and they're responsible for their own work and development. Whereas at Nebraska, there's more of a team accountability piece to it. Interestingly, that was what that model was under Darren Erstad, which was more of the pro ball style when Erstad was at Nebraska too. So just a lot of, I think, illuminating comments about what that gap is. I mean, Nebraska was still a national seed that hosted this year, but obviously hasn't been out of the regional round in more than 20 years. So these are a few of the things, a few of the gaps that Nebraska is trying to close as they try to break through, in a way that they haven't done now in a generation.
And Evan, what do you think is the biggest question mark for this team coming into next year? Obviously, you have a very talented and large senior class to replace, and you have to fill some holes. But in your opinion, what is the most important area that this team needs to fill for next year?
I mean, a couple. I think it'll probably, when it's all said and done, it'll probably be the rotation, because I get the sense that Ty Horn and Carson Yassa are going to be taking their talents to the next level. And so, I mean, you're in a situation where you'll have to replace at least 2/3 of your rotation, depending on how you think Gavin Blackowitz develops and takes that next step. But, does Jay Schoenunger make that transition from closer to starter? I think he probably will. You have a lot of the incoming players. You look at a guy like Ashton Nance, who was a prominent member of his junior college team at Johnson County. Do you have some of your younger guys continue to develop? So I think the rotation is probably the place where you start, just because there'll be so many new faces. And then, it's got to be the infield as well. I mean, no more Joshua Overbeek, Dylan Carey, Rhett Stokes. All those guys were multiple year starters that Nebraska is going to have to replace. And you have ideas of who that could be. I think Drew Grigo will be on the infield somewhere. I think Dylan Myro, who's an incoming junior college player, has a good chance to be on the infield. So that you have candidates, but man, it's going to look a lot different than it did. That's a lot of not just production, but leadership that left the building with that group of infielders. So I think that's another area clearly that Nebraska is going to need to start defining in the fall, and maybe even out of what happens this summer with some of these guys.
Evan, talk about the schedule a little bit too. Obviously, Nebraska goes out and they try to build the RPI type non-con schedule, obviously with a Big Ten with limited opportunities. But man, what a big one they're going to have coming up. They've got it slated next year to go in February. Back out a surprise with Oregon State, UC Santa Barbara, and Vandy.
Yeah, and I think that's just going to continue to be the standard now moving forward. Is like they found a sweet spot, I think, for scheduling where you have to challenge yourself as much as possible. And Vandy actually had a down year this year. They didn't make the NCAA tournament, but typically that's a game that is absolutely going to boost your RPI. Oregon State continues to be solid even through their time as an independent. So that's a game that certainly will give Nebraska a chance. And Santa Barbara has been pretty good too of late. Like that's the kind of game that can be kind of a sneaky asset to your RPI, because they play in a smaller league, and if they win that league, or if they're near the top, like that's from a win-loss perspective, something that can really help what you do. So, I mean, that's a heck of a way to start. You'd anticipate they'll be in another college baseball showcase event of some kind. They'll try to schedule aggressively, maybe to get a quality opponent into Haymarket Park in early March. And then, I do think the addition of those West Coast teams in the Big Ten make a big difference in your schedule too. I mean, you think back to USC and Oregon and the difference that made, I think, in Nebraska's profile nationally. Who shows up on their Big Ten schedule next year will be pretty important too. It sort of is the equivalent of adding a big non-conference series in a lot of ways. Like, does the league give you UCLA or do they give you Penn State? Like, you don't know how that's going to shake out. So I think they found the best path is to challenge yourself, to trust that you've recruited players that can hang and win some of those games. And if you do, man, you're in the kind of position they were in last year, where they're in that conversation to host late into the year.
Evan Bland with us here from the Omaha World Herald. It's the morning hookup. And Evan, to switch gears here and talk some Husker football, since we last chatted with you, we learned who the Huskers are going to be sending out to Chicago for Big Ten Media Days. You got Luke Lindenmeyer, you got Justin Evans, and you got Andrew Marshall all going out there with Coach Rule. And when I see those three names, I think of three guys that, while they'll be fun to talk to, I don't think they're going to make waves nationally. I don't think they're going to give any opponents any bulletin board material. And they're three guys who really are the poster child for, in my opinion, the hard work it takes to make it as a college athlete. Both of those guys, not big-time recruits. They've really worked their way up the ladder, and they're going to be key members of this football team this year. Just want to get your reaction to the three guys the Huskers are going to be sending, and kind of your thoughts getting a chance to go out and talk to those guys and have those guys in front of the media in Chicago next month.
Yeah, I think all those selections, make a lot of sense. I mean, to me, Luke Lindenmeyer was probably the most obvious choice as a guy who graduated from a Nebraska high school, who has an effusive personality. He's funny. He's, I think, insightful at times. Like, that's somebody who I think will well represent Nebraska out in Chicago. Justin Evans, same kind of thing. Like, he and Lindenmeyer were both career Huskers, right? They didn't transfer from anywhere. They were there the whole way and worked their way into bigger roles. Certainly Lindenmeyer was behind Fedoni and Nate Borkature, and now he's the starter. And Justin Evans worked his way from guard to now center for a second straight year. So absolutely, those guys are following maybe more of the traditional college football path and would have things to say. And then Andrew Marshall is maybe more of the modern path, where he's going to maybe spread the good news about Rob Orich and why he did transfer to Nebraska when he had a lot of options to go to other brand names. He's, I think, maybe behind Elijah Pritchett, their second best pro prospect right now. So, I mean, I think they've all been well spoken at different points when they've talked locally to media members, and so they'll get the chance to go out and make the tour with the TV networks and all the other media that's out there, along with the Nebraska folks that travel. But I'm with you. I don't think it's going to be anything revelatory in terms of what they say. They'll say the right things. They'll maybe provide a little insight on the work that went into this summer. And, certainly these are all going to be guys that fans are going to be familiar with as the season plays out with their contributions.
Evan, it is the dog days of summer, the middle of summer. So we are trying to talk about football, but it is a ways away. But just right now, what is your pulse check, your temperature check on this team coming into the season? It feels like they have sort of a little bit of a different identity with some of the portal pieces they picked up, new coordinators, new coaching or new position coaches, but it is a tougher schedule coming into next year. How do you think everything will mesh and gel, and just how are you feeling about the team coming into next year?
Well, I think the more that you look at the schedule, the more clear it becomes that, like, those first three games are going to be an on-ramp into what's going to be a really challenging Big Ten schedule. So last year they had about as forgiving of a Big Ten schedule as you could ask for. Didn't capitalize on it to the degree I think that they hoped or that fans hoped. But now you have a situation where you do have a lot of new additions, portal additions, who are going to be major contributors for what you're going to do. So I think those first three games are, they shouldn't be, the outcome of those games shouldn't be in doubt. But I think it'll be really fascinating to see how a lot of these players do gel, how they come together. Certainly a lot of this coaching staff is new too, so they got a sense for what these guys can do in the spring. But now you get three games to evaluate that, to adjust your depth chart accordingly. So that by the time you get to Michigan State, and then obviously that tough stretch in October and into November, you know what you have and what you're doing. So I think it continues to set up that way. We're a month away or so from camp starting and Big Ten media days. So this is still an important development time for a lot of these guys behind the scenes. Well-deserved time off for this coaching staff, which recruited its butt off in June. Now it gets a little bit of time to recharge. But I just think, you start looking at the schedule a little bit with a fresh eye once you get through baseball season, now that you're into late June, early July. And again, I think it does set up to where it's not just about starting 3-0. It's about figuring out who you have, what you have, what's your identity with all these new staffers coming together, so that you are, at your most optimal by the time you get into that Big Ten schedule, which is quite unforgiving.
Evan, we glossed over 5 for 5 a little bit, but when you look at the 5 for 5, obviously there's a lot of clear cut, definitions of when you become, the clock starts, and then you also have a few defined moments of when it can stop for you. But is when you look at 5 for 5, on the university side, will this be the difficult part being roster management when you look at it? Obviously, you look at Nebraska, you can look at every sport. It's fascinating that You got a core four of volleyball ladies that could come back if they choose to do so. Someone like Britt Prince can choose to do so as well with additional years. But also pretty fascinating for Nebraska football when you look at Calandria, who now has 2. And if that decision gets made, and then you're crossing over with a Trey Taylor coming in.
Yeah, I think 5 for 5 is incredibly fascinating, both in the larger sense and how it affects a lot of the teams, kind of like you're breaking down there, Huxley. Like, I mean, certainly the Calandria piece is really interesting. He came in as a guy who was set to be one and done, even though I think he and a lot of people in Nebraska's camp thought that there was a chance this could happen. Just the fact that he could be a 2-year guy for you now is huge, because you think about 27. If Calandria was out of eligibility, then you got to go Latif or Danny Kalin or another portal guy that you bring in, or you start Trey Taylor. And I don't know that at this moment any of those options are particularly enticing. So if you can carry that investment from Calandria over into 27 and Taylor can learn under him for a year before taking the reins, say in 28, like that's not a bad succession plan all of a sudden. But I think there are a number of guys that it's interesting. I think a guy like Jameer Khan benefits majorly from this. I mean, he's in line probably to be the starting safety this year, and that could be a 2-year deal. Kind of reminds you a little bit of Deshaun Singleton, who got that extra year back as a former JUCO guy and made the most of it. Or you look at a guy who's going to be a junior like Carter Nelson, who's been a regular on special teams, but he's been hurt, and he's a former 8-man player adjusting to the 11-man college game. Like, that's a guy who you wonder if he could have be a major beneficiary of a 5th year, kind of on down the line with some of these players. So I think with football specifically, like, Nebraska fancies itself a developmental program, and a lot of that maybe was lost in the portal era when these guys come and go, when you just don't have everyone for as long. But I think you do get some of that back with a 5th year now for a lot of these players who maybe would have been done after 4, or you wouldn't have had for as long of a time. So long term, it'll be interesting to see if that's something that Nebraska can benefit from as it seeks to get older, stay older. But man, I could talk about this subject all day. I think it's a really interesting how it affects different sports, but specifically to football. You're going to get some contributors back. I think guys who maybe don't have major NFL stocks, but guys who are quality college players, and maybe that's something that Nebraska will benefit from consistently into the future.
Well, that's fascinating, and so is the landscape of college athletics, and it's always ever turning, and I can't wait to see where it goes. But Evan, man, we appreciate your time as always on a Monday, man. Take care of yourself. Have a great 4th as well, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Evan Blank, oh my word, great stuff from him as always. Let's take our final break, come back with stories that we missed. Yeah, buddy. Some interesting stories out there today. Delete. Try this again. Good stuff. Boy, it seems to be getting hot outside.
Japan's my dark horse, Elijah. I'm calling it.
To win today or win the whole thing?
No, just to make a run.
Make a run. I like that. They play so fun.
They're good. Win the whole thing. Oh, man. It's really hard to not like one of the favorites.
Spain, England, France.
Yeah.
France is playing like the best team in the tournament.
Yeah.
Aside from one half against Senegal, they've been running through everybody.
Norway should beat up on Ivory Coast, right?
Maybe not beat up on them. They should win. Norway is good, not great.
Netherlands and Morocco. That's a really good game.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. I'm jazzed about that one tonight.
Mexico has surprised me too. I knew they were good, but they've played a lot better than what I thought they would.
Wednesday would be a good day games. England and Congo, Belgium, Senegal, USA, Bosnia, and Spain, Austria. Oh, yeah, sorry, Spain, Austria is on Thursday, but still, Wednesday is a good day.
The stories we miss. The Morning Hookup.
Welcome back to the Morning Hookup special. Thanks here to Evan Bland with the Omaha World Herald hanging out with us on a Monday, like always. Boy, a lot of stories out there right now. NBA news going out there right now. Boy, there's some moves being made. Draymond Green, sources saying, declined his $27.5 million play option on Monday morning. And all purposes said that the Golden State Warriors are in pursuit of LeBron James and Anthony Davis. One in free agency and one via trade this week to create a big four there.
A big four of
oldness.
Three aging stars. LeBron James, how much does he have left in the tank? Not much. I think Steph's still Steph.
Steph is probably the one that's got the most left.
And then Anthony Davis looked great for 10 games before he picks up a season-ending injury.
Yep.
He's the one that's got it left, right? He's the one we're looking at.
What do you mean?
Steph's got the most left in the tank.
Oh, yeah. No, this doesn't move the needle for me in Golden State.
It sounds cool.
Anthony Davis, LeBron, and Steph Curry 10 years ago.
That's what
dynasty.
They tried. Yep.
Right now,
yeah.
Enjoy your 6th seed in the West.
What do you get out of that?
Nothing.
There's a lot going down in the NBA. Malik Beasley has been indicted on federal gambling charges as the cookie keeps crumbling in the NBA of players getting caught up with gambling charges.
Did he bet on his own team? So I'm wondering. I'd like to see more about this. But apparently it was point shaving and him looking at some prop bets for folks out there. So maybe he'll sue the NCAA and try to get some eligibility.
Yep. Him and Sorter are gonna hang out.
That's the reality we live in. Isn't that crazy?
In other news here, this unfortunate breaking news coming on CBS this morning. Chris Johnson, CJ2K, legendary Titans running back, ran for 2,000 yards. What was that, probably 15 years ago now? He announced he is in a battle with ALS.
Man,
just horrific. Just sad news there for Chris Johnson. But from his appearance this morning and kind of talking about it, the important quote was that he decided I could either die or I could fight. And he's going to fight, which is an inspirational story. You wouldn't expect any less from him with the fight that he showed throughout his entire NFL career. But terrible diagnosis, but kind of doing the best that he can and fighting through it. So that was sad to see.
Yeah, it's sad, man. Sad news there. We did mention that in the Travelers, Victor Hovland did on this morning's playoff. One hole is all it took. Victor Hovland upends Scotty Scheffler. Scotty missed a 2-foot 4-inch putt. Lipped out to continue that. But now Scotty had multiple chances yesterday to extend this, and he just couldn't get it done. They kept coming back. There was a lot of chasers and out there. Victor Hovland ultimately gets it done. First time in a long time for Victor. His swing was really struggled. He fell back in the lower rankings a while. Gets it done.
I did like last night all the cuts to Colin Morikawa sitting in the sitting at like some table watching on TV, hitting his swing inside. And obviously he did not become a factor as Hovland and Scheffler finished 21 under. But with that rain delay, I mentioned this briefly last hour, I'll say it again. you feel bad for both Scheffler and Hovland to have to turn around and
go back, get ready, come, just stay the entire next morning, all that.
Yeah, to go play one hole.
When it's loud on the golf course too, by the way, you got to get the at least enough staff members to be out there, the range back, all that stuff that's got to go into it. But I think it ended on Peacock this morning, which is also unfortunate.
Yeah, just it's not the way you want to.
It was short-lived.
Not the way you want a golf championship to end. But at the end of the day,
it's over.
It's over. Hovland deserved to win, and I don't think Scheffler is going to be kicking himself with all the wins in his career about finishing second.
All the intentions now
that's
are
golf for you.
Turning their attentions towards the Open Championship, which is just a few weeks away.
Back in the NBA, James Harden, which when the whole deal went down with him going to the Cavs, I was always very confused about that and why the Cavs would want that. And now it seems like, well, it doesn't seem like he is declining his player option, and they're going to try and work through a multi-year deal together. And we were just talking about how like Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Steph Curry all together on one team. They're all old, you know. James Harden, he's 36 too. Why?
It's an ever-changing league right now, for sure.
Why do these teams want to pay these older guys so much money? You're not going to get much out of them. You're kind of just wasting your future on. Do you think you can go all in with James Harden and Donovan Mitchell for next?
Sell some tickets or what?
Yeah.
How much time do we have left here?
About 4 minutes.
Under the radar story here today for you. Today kicks off Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Jannik Sinner is currently in a huge battle with the guy from Serbia. I cannot pronounce his name. Čekmanović, something like that. Kecmanović.
I'm going to go with Kecmanović.
Has forced a final set on world number one Jannik
Sinner.
Sinner was a huge favorite in this too.
It wasn't even close.
Yeah, like the next closest odds were like plus 500.
He was supposed to get him in like straight sets. This was not supposed to be close, but Sinner, who knows what happens on that center court in terms of how seriously did he take his opponent? Is he already looking ahead? Regardless, Sinner up now 2 games to 1 in that final set.
There's a lot going on there. It's a big week because it's Wimbledon and the return of
Serena Williams.
Yes.
And Venus.
They'll be in the doubles. I think Serena will be on center court tomorrow, I believe, as she'll start her return at 44 years of age.
This tournament will run until the second week of July. So we got a lot of Wimbledon action upcoming. It's just early right now, but the drama for today is holy cow, who is expecting Jannik Sinner to get pushed like this?
We'll talk about it. We'll talk a lot about Wimbledon and World Cup as well. Tomorrow, Robin Washit and Brian Munson from HuskerOnline.com catching up with those guys. And we'll be World Cup knockout stage games, as you got a lot going on today with that.
I'm hyped. This is where the World Cup really gets fun, is these knockout stage games where if you lose, you go home. It's where the emotion really sets in for a lot of these guys. Like you saw South Africa lose yesterday in the heartbreaking fashion which they lost. Like you could see it on the guys' faces where so many guys, you're 29, your entire career has been building up to try to make your national team to go play in a World Cup. And to see it end and kind of there's like that look of disappointment, not only the fact that they're out, but also that look of disappointment. Man, this might be the only chance I ever had to play in a World Cup.
Yep. Their countryman, all that stuff, making their one trip back or one trip ever. I agree with that, man. It's sometimes tough to watch.
But the sports would not be so exciting and entertaining if not for the agony of defeat. The joy of victory is one side of it, but the agony of defeat is another. And to talk some Husker football here, the agony of 10 years of defeats is what will make a successful season somewhere down the road feel ever so sweeter.
You're kind of numb to the agony now. You just sort of expect it.
But you know how if there is a college football playoff type run in the next year or two for Nebraska football,
oh man,
do you know like the Husker basketball? What made the NCAA tournament run this year so much fun is the 50 years of agony that people have gone through, not being able to get that NCAA tournament win, to be the only team to not do it. That's why so many fans show up to Oklahoma City. That's why you got people diving in the canals. The joy of victory would not be so sweet if not for the agony of defeat.
Absolutely, man. Speaking of that, there's one other NBA story that we'll be watching. Talking about the end of things. Are we watching the end of Kawhi Leonard coming up? Because sources are saying he's only wants to sign an extension with 2 teams. Right now, the Clippers are engaged with the Raptors.
Happy 35th birthday, by the way, Clark.
Yes, that's all. He won the Raptors or the Spurs to go back to. Could be that coming as well. But again, like I said, tomorrow, World Cup knockout stage updates. Robin Washit and Brian Munson, both with HuskerOnline.com. And a whole lot of you guys have a great Monday. Stay cool if you can. Catch you on a Tuesday.